Thank you for being here. And thank you for being in this space. Today we are meeting in this container to really just kind of start at the beginning and just coming into the center and really getting grounded in what that means for each one of us as we move forward, right? In this collaborative energy, in this beautiful synergy. And so we have been developing our psyche, our telepathy, in the ways that we communicate with each other as mothers, as lovers, as friends, the way that we ascend, and the way that we operate in the now. And that's why we are really here in this moment, in this now, is just to provide yourself a space, right? A baseline to where you can get to know you in the ways that your language moves through your soul. So whether you're holding space for someone else or for your family or for yourself or for your meditational practices or for your energies, however it is that you weave your synergy, it has a language. It has a way that you express yourself and the ways that you move and communicate through this world, because we all have these gifts. Each one of us is sentient. The only difference is how you sit with it and how you communicate with it. So I would like to invite you into this beautiful space, right? Into my secret garden where you can walk and explore yourself. You can explore the ways that it feels, right, to sit on the mantle of your own shelf as you dive deep within the cells that are you. And so we're going to do this through a series much like this, right? We're going to sit with the it, the clairs, the senses, the soul. And we're going to hold this space and we're just going to get to know ourselves just a little bit deeper. Because this stuff, y'all, when you start opening up your psyche, it can get a little unnerving, right? And we don't always know what to do with it. And I have been very open with some of the things that I have struggled with. And so I had to really learn my own language and how I communicate and what it means to me without projecting it through an inverted lens. And there's a time and a place and a space and a purpose and a direction, so that our psyche, it doesn't become, right, an infection of the mind. And we can really come into this space and just really align. So I'd like you to invite you in. You can grab a pen. This is going to be ongoing learning and development. And there's no charge for this, right? This moment, this now, the only thing it's going to cost you, right, is the time that you allow yourself to be here. That's it. And if you'd like to honor it, then please share this out to someone who you might think that it might be helpful for. There's no system here. There's no book. There's no manual. There's only us in this moment, right? And how to develop ourselves so we can own it and we can tone it and we can refine it. Because that's what we're doing here, y'all, is developing clear sentience, that clear knowing, right? That channel between our ears so we don't have to fear it, bringing it into our throat, down into our root, into our basin, and then back up out into our crown. And you get to wear this veil, right? Like it's a beautiful fucking gown, like a beautiful gift. And you can sit in it. And so that's what we're connecting with here. It's your senses. So you don't have to live in fear. You don't have to be afraid, right? Because you already know, you already were like, dang, I just knew. That's your clairsentience, boo. That's it. That is it. And so what do we do with it, right? When you know, so it doesn't throw you off. How do we travel safely within our channels, within this canoe that is you, right? Within this consciousness, so you don't get entangled in all the different bullshit and all the different systems out there. Because it's a mess. It's like the Wild West, and I'm out on that. I'm out. It took me a long time to get where I was at. I walked in with this. Born Haven Morningstar, my car was already complete, and so I had to take a seat. I was like, okay, how do I drive this fucking thing? How do I figure this out? Because if you have a gift and you're not within alignment with it, eventually it's going to overrun you. And that's where those fractured parts start to happen, right? And there's a certain school and a mystery to it and a time and a place, but that is not your forever. It's for a cycle. And it's a deep mystery learning so you can understand how this works, but it's hard because we get caught into it, and then we start to put people on pedestals and we start to kind of misplace our direction. You've all seen that infection in me. And that's why we work so hard to come out of that into the now, so you can really allow yourself this space in this body to breathe. To breathe. And just allowing yourself to take what you need so you can come into alignment, so you can hear it, the spirit within you. So we're going to be exploring as we move through these different spheres, the way that we hear, soul, right? Our clairaudience, right? Who is our audience? What are our clairs? Why do we not want to put color in our hair and paint on our nails, right? As we're developing our senses, our psychometry, and the ways that we are developing our mastery. That is the psyche. What you think and how you feel and how you apply it into the world, right? So this is all about your senses. How are you hearing such, right? Through the ways that you touch. What is your love language? Are you missing it much? Do you know? Do you even know? How can you talk about this with other people if you don't know how to talk about it with yourself? And we're doing disservice by not really sitting with it and developing it. We want to run out, right? You all see Haven, yay, she wants to save the world. How can I help? How can I do this? How can I do that? I've got a thought you might want to hear. No, dear, sit down and let's refine it. Let's refine it. That is the process that I went through that is really helpful for myself. And that is why I'm here with you. So breathing that through, right? understanding that you have these hemispheres, that you have this beautiful, clear knowing, clear hearing, clear touch, clear sense of smell, sense of taste. This beautiful gift, and you're like, I don't want to waste it. What do I do with it? Where do I place it? How do I develop it? It's being here right now. And just allowing yourself to explore these moments, right, without clicking away, but just staying right here and being like, dang, man, this feels good to me, or maybe it doesn't, and that's okay. Because what we're doing right now is we're aligning the day so that we can walk through it without picking up all these extra things, right? We can discern what we're bringing in, what we're projecting out, and we can discern which parts of those are really beneficial to our existence and which part isn't. Because this space is kind of like, it's eternal, but it's very limited in how we're directing this beam. And if you want to get really, really good, it's all about the process of elimination, right? And then we start building the patterns within. And we've all been doing this for a long time. Those of us, we've already practiced our bookmarking. We've already done all of that stuff. So now that's getting really clear in our senses. We can take all of that over the last, 7 years and kind of build off upon that and bring all of those practices right into the now. Into this center so we can enter, right, this next dimension of telepathy without inverting it and fucking it up again. Atlantean. So if Atlantean was form and Lemurian was thought, do you remember what you were taught before, and why are you trying to eschew it now? What is your vow? What is your oath? What does this moment mean to you? You don't have to really understand what I'm going to do with all the things, with all of this in this moment. But you need to understand that if you have a gift, you need to tone it. You need to tone it. It's a deep refinement. Very strict definements on which channels we're using here. This one is for psychic development. And so the time spent today is just understanding, right, etherically in right now with these words, that you hold the language of the birds inside of you. And that there's a tone and a vibration that moves through. And it allows you, right, to maybe sense, to maybe just know, to have this intuitive guidance, this intuitive GPS where you can just go and you don't really have to sit back and question yourself. You're like, nah, man, I trust myself. I'm good. I'm good. Thank you very much. No, I don't need to come and sit down. I don't need all these things. No, I don't need to sign up for all these courses, although there's some good ones out there. And I don't need to sit there and pay for all of these things, but I can develop it within myself. And then that way, when I do pay for it and I do go and sit with it somewhere, it's targeted and I'm not signing up in fear. I'm like, okay, there's a purpose here. I'm sitting with this person, not to place them before me, but because something is saying they've developed that part of mastery that I need within me. And can I not take from it, right? But can I sit under that umbrella? Can I sit under that wing? Can I sit in this moment and hear my soul sing? Breathing in. And this is where we're going to release control in our throat chakra. Coming up in between the ears. So this first segment is going to deal with our clear hearing, our clear audience. And who is your audience right now? And that is going to just be something for you and how you move through and how you direct this beam. I always start with myself. If I do anything, it's always for me and me first. I bring it in and I take it as deep as I can go. And I allow it to touch all of my spaces and go through, right, my complete center, my complete wheel, and I feel it with every part that I am, and I bring it up through my breath, into my ears, and I start to hear. And then from there, I'm like, where does this beam need to go? Do I need to bring it into form, into thought so that I can see? Is that where we're sharing this beam? Is that how this person is communicating with me, is through thought or through voice, for feeling, through senses, through touch? That's getting to know my audience and how I'm going to direct this beam and this psychic channel particularly that we're developing here. So you don't have to sit about it, and you don't have to think about it, and you don't have to have a script. You can just come on here and be like, boom, I'm gonna flow with it. I'm gonna flow with it because I know that it's my truth. I just know that it's my truth. I've known it since youth. And we find these pockets, right, in our youth and through our life, where we start to shut our body down and we start to shut our senses down. And they're usually in moments where someone has frowned upon us and we've experienced a shame pocket. That's what it is. That's where it begins, is in a shame pocket. Within that nadi, and then what we do is we hold that story in our body and we allow it to create a disease, and so on and on and on. The cycle repeats, right? And it becomes a knife, and then we have to buy into systems, into classes, right? And then we all want to become healers and feelers, and then we're like, ooh, can you buy into my system in my class too? And then we're like basically honey boo boo for psychics, whoring ourselves out, right? Myself too. Hi, you. But we all have to make a living, and we all have beautiful gifts. So if you can learn how to sit with it and develop your own language through that, what we do is we develop our telepathy, we develop our psyche, but more so we develop our integrity. Our integrity. And through integrity, we can learn how to honor our own authenticity, our own vulnerability, right? We can understand the empathy. That is our nature of nourishment, and you can understand your name and why you were born with it. Hi, my name is Haven Morningstar Greer, and I am here. I am here for myself because I have deep gifts. And I sat alone with it for a very long time. And I found that that didn't work for me so well. So I really had to learn with the spelling of my own name. Morning Star is what I was born with. Not a name that I adopted somewhere else. I was born with it. And that took on a different kind of connotation for me, a different kind of harmony, and one that I took very seriously, and one that I hope that you do too, because you are so special and you deserve to develop this part of yourself, this deep love, this deep relationship that doesn't need to be a book on someone else's shelf that you can read when you have time. No, boo, it's right here and it's right now. And all you have to do is just allow. So if you give me just a moment, we're going to tone it, this body, in this series, in this soul dive, in this moment right now. And you can come back to it anytime that you wish, right? I really, really hope that you do. So delicious. Haniel. Mantra. I am grace. Venusian energy. Pink in synergy, represented by the deer spirit animal associated with the lovers. Embodiment of the sacred harmonies, divine feminine emotional intelligence, lunar cycles, in her intuition, blissful balance. Haniel dissolves shame, balancing the emotional realms that govern your central nervous systems. Similar to the tides, ebb and flow, Haniel knows when to come and when to go. Her influence in the sequence of nature's harmony brings profound expansion gracefully. Sovereignty, intuitively guided through your return where others teach. Haniel first learns your body and pulls your own wisdom through the nadis, through the meridians, tantians, and when you breathe this essence in, you begin to really feel who you really are. Haniel is represented under the star of Venus, and this energy is that to know the body. To know the body, both horizontal and vertical. The gift that this angel brings is that of deep understanding of how your psyche works. The relationship within yourself here is the key tachyon energy, the ability to develop your emotional alchemy. The sacred seduction of self-discovery. Hear those words again. The sacred seduction of self-discovery. The lover in me. Honoring the lover in you, turning waves through the cycles of the moon, tender swoon. Emotional capacity. Honoring the we and how love doesn't have to be so hard. Sharing our yard of desires rooted in what we know to be our soul's truth. Will. Going back to our youth and releasing any shame we felt within this body. Holding the naughty, the nice, the once bitten, twice, thrice shy, and my, oh, my ever flowing I am I, remembering my light. Right? Right. Right there. Tender hair. Pearl in her essence with a musical drift. Sit with it. This right now, and just allow. Allow this tender flame to cradle the shame and offer this flame to light your temple. And you can build an altar in her example, should you wish. Soul delish, Mount Kalish. Place moonstone in your dish and allow the energy to shift into your celestial currents. Returning to this moment as often as you need. Lemurian seed. You bleed no more. Use copal to clean your floors and the walls, jasmine to freshen the halls, and most of all, y'all, give yourself some grace. Trace the numbers 911 should you ever be in fear, and call upon the swiftness of the deer. And hear the sound of your own soul, honoring you gently. Heavenly sent. A testament to the beautiful gift of you. And thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Should you feel it in your near future to reach out and dissolve any doubt that lingers in you, we would love to hear from you. Thank you for being here. Thank you. May you share this out should it be helpful to someone else or yourself, or revisit this moment as often as you need. Thank you for being a seed, a star, and thank you for tending to this beautiful etheric car. Loving you gently.